Oh my God.
Welcome to the LaeticiaTalks. Today we have a lot to discuss. We will get into our sports take. Please don't pee me off. Yapathon, Auntie Talks, and we'll end it off with our cyber talks. Stay tuned and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Sports Talk with your girl Leticia. Today we are going to get into some women's sports. So to get it started, when we last talked, they were going into the finals, and I believe it was 2 games in already. The finals for the WNBA are now over, and the Aces took it with a sweep, okay? They got it, and I'm happy because I did not want Phoenix to win, not gonna lie. Since they got the links out, I wanted them out of there, okay? And I'm glad they are. But anyways, so let's get into what happened in the games. So, first off, the Aces defense locked in. They came into these games knowing that they had to play defense to stop them, and they did just that, right? Not only that, but the Mercury just, let me not say that they couldn't keep up, but they did come back, I want to say, in 2 games out of the series, and they could have had no chance to win, but then the Aces put the foot on the pedal, okay? They put the foot on the pedal and was like, you know what? We let y'all think y'all about to come back, but yeah, right. So, anyways, yes, it's over. Shout out to Asia Wilson getting MVP for the finals. That girl forever. Chelsea Gray, Jewel Loyce, Jackie Young, Dana Evans contributed. Everybody on the Aces did what they came to do, and a round of applause to them. Okay, all about celebrating others' wins, not being a hater. So the leading scorers of the finals for the last game in the series was Asia Wilson with 31 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Then we got Jackie Young with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal. Then we got Chelsea Gray, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Oh, I can't talk. Jewel Loyce came through, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Dana Evans contributed with 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. And yeah, they put the Mercury away. I had them second guessing everything. Okay, but on the Mercury did at least try to the very end. Kalia Copper ended up fouling out with 6 fouls. She ended the game with 30 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Then you had Alyssa Thomas, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Dewana Bonner contributed a lot more than she has in the past couple games. She had 10 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Makoa Akani, she had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Kaylani Brown had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, okay? So everyone showed up like they were supposed to do as professional women sports players. And the game ended with a score of 97-86. And I just want to say that the Aces, they was counted out, okay? They was counted out in like the middle of the season. They had lost like 10 or so many games in a row. They was about to be out of playoff contention. They ended second, I want to say, in the West. Like, they really turned their entire season around and came back and won. So that is what I call persistence. Not giving up even when you are down. Like, That's what it's all about, especially in women's sports, because people count women out every day. But the fact that they didn't let the noise keep them down, they didn't let the losses keep them down, that really shows that they are some true hoopers, okay? And they showed us all and took that W. Now, on to the end of it, right? So, just like a lot of you, I watched and I seen it too. So, once they won the game, they brought Kathy Engelberg out there, right? Y'all know ain't nobody trying to see Kathy. Nobody. Ain't nobody trying to see that. But they put her out there. People in the crowd was booing. Like, I thought I about fell off the couch. I was so tickled. Then they was flicking her off on the camera. Like, it was just insane, right? So the TV get the flickering and turning green. I'm like, what's going on with my TV? But then I realized what they was trying to do. They was trying to censor out them middle fingers in the background. And gotta be the funniest stuff ever. Like, they eventually they stopped doing it because they realized they wasn't able to block it. Like, we could still see it. And even if we couldn't in real time, like, people there was recording too. So it was just hilarious. But I kind of felt bad for Kathy, but then I don't, girl. Bye. Nobody want to see you. Boo. Nobody came here for you, okay? So, I did not. It was a little hilarious to me. Let's see. What does that say? That says, Kathy, like I told you in my TikTok video, ain't nobody checking for you. We're here for the girls. The hoopers, okay? Get it right, get it tight. And get gone. Because we don't want to see you no more. We don't mess with you no more. So every time you show up, it's going to be booze. Period. Now, on the Angel Reese. Because y'all know that's my theme. That's my girl. Okay. She was announced as one of the girls. That got her Victoria's Secret angel wings to walk in their show. And else. Okay, I'm here for it. Get your bag, Angel. Get it. Because they've been hating on you since you came in the door. Okay? They've been hating. Why? I don't know. But it's some hating people out here, okay? And the fact that, one, she came in the league with a salary of about 70-something thousand. What? Like, that's less than I made in my job when I had a job. Come on now. That's not even, it don't make sense. So I'm gonna say I am here for her, taking on all these ventures, getting her bag, as long as she makes sure she stays focused and keeps basketball prioritized. I don't care what she do. And from the looks of it, and she does just that. She makes sure she get in her training every day, and then she go get her money. And that's what it's all about. Women being able to be versatile and be able to get and do whatever they want to. All you got to do is put some initiative behind it. And we in there. Okay? So, shout out to her, and shout out to all the WNBA women out there getting their checks outside of ball. They can keep trying to play with y'all, but you guys are what make the game, and we're here for it. So, to end off this segment, the CBA players are still waiting on negotiations, okay? It's still happening October 31st, Halloween. And we'll see how that goes. I know Nafisa canceled that conversation with Kathy. I know Adam Silver's come out and said some things. but nobody's actually said whether or not the deal's gonna go through. So we will have to see. I did see that they said something about it can be extended. Ain't nobody trying to extend it. Let's get this done. Let's give them girls their share of the revenue, because all they're wanting is to allow the league to continue to grow, and y'all not try to give them a fixed amount of money when y'all know the revenue that y'all are about to be getting. Okay? Stop playing with them. Stop it. Okay, you got some business girlies. You got some educated girls. Y'all make these WNBA players finish college before they can even come in the league. So that's on y'all. Okay? Because now they on y'all tails, and I'm here for it. Okay? So, with that being said, once again, shout out to the Aces for taking the W in the finals. And on to Unrivaled. So, they still have not announced the last 2 players on their roster. And that's okay. I'm gonna let them slide for now. Okay? However, they did introduce 2 new basketball clubs. They have the Breeze and the Hive basketball clubs, and I cannot wait to find out who are on these teams. I'm not sure if they mixed it up. I know they are still going to have games in Miami, but like I announced last week, they do plan to play some in Philly. So I am happy to see this league expanding and growing, and I'm here for it. Like, I know it's only 3-on-3, but it's entertaining, and they market right. They have the right sponsorship deals. They're doing what they're supposed to do so that they can take care of the players. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Like, some of these leagues look at these players as dollar signs, and that's the wrong way to approach the game, especially when it comes to women. Not to say it's not the same with men, but the men get their cut. They get their money. They be in the millions with theirs. So I just think that women are due for their just due. Okay. And that's really all I got. Shout out to Unrivaled. Y'all need to release them next 2 spots, because we waiting. I know Nafisa's on the roster, but I don't know if she's actually going to play with her injury. So maybe they'll swap her out. We will have to wait and see. We don't know. I haven't seen Angel Reese pop up on the roster yet, and I'm just a little bit disappointed. But I get it if she don't. Gotta get your money. So that's all I have for my women's sports take. See you guys in the next segment. Please don't pee me off, okay? So let's get it kicked off. We're gonna talk today about playing nice in politics, okay? Because that's what people expect us to do. They want us to play nice with people that are literally trying to oppress us, and it literally doesn't make any sense. So the real talk. If y'all didn't know, recently Stephen A. Smith made comments about Jasmine Crockett. And before I get into his comments, I just want to say I am pro-black. That don't mean I'm against anybody, but I am pro-black. Especially pro-black woman, since I am a black woman. Pro-black men, because I was raised and I live with black men. But what I will say, I am not for anybody, whether women or men, coming on these platforms and trying to talk down on the other. Okay, I'm not here for it. Yes, we can call each other out for stuff. Yes, let's hold each other accountable. But the things that are going to be spoken on are neither productive or logical, if we're being honest. So let's get into it. So, Stephen A. Smith's comments, and these are his exact comments. Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable. And that's my day's work. That ain't work. That's what Stephen A. Smith said. So he said more, but I'm gonna break that down first. First off, Stephen A., you keep trying to talk about politics. Clearly, this is not your field. You need to go and stay in the sports world because you are lost. Let's start there. Secondly, how is one supposed to find a way to work with someone that literally already has this agenda that they want to carry out that literally harms majority of Americans that are not in the upper class? And being that you are not personally impacted by any of these policies that Donald Trump is trying to push or any of these foolish things that he has done, I need you to be quiet. Secondly, or thirdly, I don't even know what number I'm on now because I'm just so blown. Thirdly, you're telling her all she says the most derogatory and incendiary things imaginable. What does Trump say? What does he say? He just talks about rainbows and Skittles. Be for real. You cannot play nice with this administration. It gets us nowhere. That's literally how we got here in the first place. People trying to play nice and not take off the gloves and not show the real. Don't nobody want to see that. Don't nobody want to see that. Don't nobody want to hear that. We want the real. And the fact of the matter is, Jasmine Crockett is doing exactly what she can do. So, let's go on further so I can dive into that. Stephen A. further says, instead of criticizing Donald Trump, Crockett should realize that she is not in a position to stop him, as the Republicans control both the Senate and the House of Representatives. Not to include, this is not him talking anymore. I'm going to take a break on what he said. But not only do they control the Senate and the House of Representatives, they control the White House. But somehow they're pushing this narrative that Democrats somehow have enough power to stop them and stop this whole thing and are the reason for the government being shut down. No. And literally, this is why Jasmine Crockett is speaking, because they don't have control of any of these things. So they have to bring attention to the foolery that is occurring in this administration. And if she doesn't do it, who else gonna do it? And she's not the only one. She's not the only Democrat. She's not the only political leader that be trying to speak out. It's not many of them, I will say, but she is not the only one. And the fact of the matter is, for you as a black man to get and try to call Jasmine Crockett out on what she says about Trump, which are mostly fact-based, regardless if you feel it derogatory or not, he's a criminal. Yes, no? Like, she could say literally anything she wants to say. Let's start there. Because everyone, including you, let Trump do and say whatever he wants to say, whether it's incendiary or derogatory or just straight. Like, come on now. Let's be real. What do you want from her? What do you want from her? Because she's telling us what they're doing. She's calling them out on the lies that they're spreading. She's calling him out on being a freaking coward. She's calling him out on literally trying to harm the American people and take half of the Americans that are currently on government assistance for medical care off with no just due. So yes, she has to call them out. Yes, she has to say derogatory things to get people's attention because that is what people pay attention to nowadays. And until the day somebody calls Trump out that's on a platform like Stephen A's, until somebody calls him out on the derogatory, incendiary, and foolish things he says, like he just recently said it's going to be a lot of layoffs and it's going to mostly affect the Democrats. How in the fiddlesticks do you, as a person, find it okay for him to say things like that, but find so much outrage when Jasmine Crockett opened her mouth to speak on the foolishness going on in this administration? Make it make sense. Because it don't make none. I'm going to tell you that right now. It don't make none. Okay, anyways. Stephen A. goes on to say, he noted that Jasmine Crockett's work is not complicated and that she should work with Trump, even if she disagrees with his agenda. Smith stated that if she did, she would be able to support the people of Texas. Jasmine Crockett is one of the few Texas representatives that is literally fighting back against not only Trump, but our dumbass governor down here. Okay? So, her work is not complicated. They literally tried, or I'm not even gonna say tried, they did. They redrew the Texas maps so they could get rid of her seat. But it's not complicated. What would you call that? Come on now. It's just... I'm just saying. But, Jasmine Crockett ain't out here doing nothing. She's just trying to call the administration out for trying to be a dictatorship. And clearly, people like Stephen A. think that everyone is just supposed to kiss the ring and go along with this. And we're not. So shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Shout out to all those representatives that are out there trying to fight for the American people's rights. Shout out to the people out there trying to fight for the American people in general. It's crazy that so many people have so much outrage for things that go against this administration. Like, this administration is not going against all of us. It's kind of mind-blowing, if I'm being quite honest. And just to mention, she's not out here just not doing anything. She's drawing attention to the foolishness. She's calling out the foolishness. And then she also sent a formal letter to the White House physician demanding an investigation into Donald Trump's health, because as we all are witnessing with our own eyes, regardless of what they try to tell us in this media, he's literally declining right in front of our face. And what are they going to do? They're going to try to allow him to decline. They're not going to discuss it. They're going to try to make everyone else feel like they're crazy for even seeing the decline. And then they're going to slowly try to slip J.D. Vance in there for us. No. Thank you, Jasmine Crockett, for calling them out on their bull. And Stephen A., go back to sports, bro. It's not for you. It's not. Because you want people to play nice when we're long past that. We're long past playing nice. And why the heck would anyone go with his agenda? Why would we just go along with his agenda and not fight back at all? How does that help anyone? Just give in. It's weak-minded. So, that is all I have for my Please Don't Pee Me Off segment, because some people are just so foolish. I had to address it sometimes. So, on to the Yapathon. We're back with the Yapathon. It's getting real, okay? Supreme Court is about to have a case come in front of them next month, November, discussing whether Trump can fire officials at independent federal agencies without cause. Now, we have seen him fire Lisa Cook, which I don't think they officially fired her yet, but she's on the chopping block. She's the Federal Reserve Board member, as well as the FTC Commissioner, Rebecca Slaughter. Now, there's other people as well that have been fired. Majority of them have been Black people, Black men and women. And some have just been taken down from leadership roles, such as the general that got taken off the committee. I find it insidious that these people just keep giving him all of this power, all of this unchecked power. Because if Trump can fire people without just cause, what that mean for everybody else? Can they also be fired without just cause? Because as long as these people are not neglecting their jobs, they're not abusing their power, they're not being corrupt, as this administration is being, and they're not, as long as they know what they're doing, what's the problem? Or is it just they're not yes men to you, that's the problem? And honestly, I don't know if people understand the gravity of this, but if the Supreme Court expands his presidential removal authority it will enable him basically to rapidly replace independent regulators and carry out major policy changes before courts can revise them. And once again, it gives him less checks and balances as he shifts everything in the way he wants it to go, or the people behind him want it to go. So, I mean, how much power does he need? And why, as the President of the United States, is our government is shut down? But there's still money going to Israel. There's money I just seen went to Argentina. But yet people in our own country, y'all don't want to give them health care? That's why y'all shut the government down? Come on now. Come on now. And if you haven't noticed, the Supreme Court, even though I seen that Amy Coney Barrett or whatever the stupid lady name is, she has come out. She said that she's not scared, and despite what everyone thinks, she's not, she doesn't favor Trump in any of this. And it's like, lady, you're a liar, okay? You lied when you took your oath in front of Congress. You just keep lying. Like your words say one thing and your actions say another. Make it make sense. Now, we, the people, we know that they literally keep saying all this bullcrap. They're saying that they don't let Trump just have his way. But then you go ahead and you say that former presidents have immunity from criminal charges for anything that they did while in office, while conducting official acts. Even though we know that whether it's official acts or non-official acts, Trump is going to do whatever Trump wants to do, and ain't nobody going to stop him. Nobody's going to call him out, especially not the Supreme Court, which has a lot of his yes men in it. We already know that's not about to happen. And the Chief Justice John Roberts, which I cannot stand at this point because he just keeps saying stupid stuff. But he did come out after that ruling, and he said at a minimum the president must be immune from prosecution for an official act unless the government can show that applying a criminal prohibition to that act would pose no dangers of intrusion on the authority and functions of the executive branch. He also noted there is no immunity for unofficial acts. Once again, there's no immunity for unofficial acts, but we're also not going to call them out on it. We're not going to do anything about it. And even though we are watching the same stuff that the general public is watching occur in this country, we're not going to do anything to stop it. It just don't make sense. It don't make sense. And if you like me and you tired of the foolishness, don't stop talking about it. Talk about it with your family members. I was just talking with it to my nephew, and he's still in high school. Everyone needs to know what's going on, because if we do not talk about it, we do not have these conversations about what's going on in this government, nothing changes. And they are allowed to just keep doing things with no checks and balances. Call out your representatives. Call out your representatives. If they are not speaking on your behalf, call they butts out, okay? It's a lot of elections that's about to come up. Get them people up out of there. If they are not working on the benefit of the American people, but on Trump's behalf, get them up out of there, okay? I was in the military, and we swore to protect this country from enemies, foreign and domestic. Right? Foreign and domestic. That includes the president. That includes anybody that is trying to go against the American people. So, we as the voters, as the people, as the people that are going to be impacted by these irrational policies, these irrational thoughts that this man keeps sharing with us that nobody asked for. It's time for us to let them hear us. Like, Target heard us. Target heard us. The FCC heard us when we said you keep messing with Jimmy Kimmel and trying to take people's First Amendment freedom of speech away. We're gonna turn that motherfucking TV off. You see, he back on the air. We have to, our voice matters. Our voice matters, and I don't care what nobody says. These news outlets that they let into the White House to filter out what they want us to know, they not working on our behalf, okay? They're working on behalf of the billionaires that fund them. So, got a couple upcoming elections. Let me get that information to y'all so we can be informed and get out there and try to get these people up out of here so we can get some regulation going on in this country. Yes, the government needs to fix these things, but we also need to demand that they fix these things. We cannot just sit by and hope that our representatives are going to do right by us, because as we see, they're not. Unless somebody put some dang pressure on them, they ain't gonna do nothing. Which is why they're still getting paid while our military is not getting paid, while the federal workers are not getting paid. But the military, out of all of those people that are not getting paid, are the only people that are expected to still show up to work without pay. They lose time away from their families for all of this foolishness to try to protect us, and they don't even get paid. They're not getting paid. They're having to take out loans because the government is shut down, and they don't have a stipulation in there that says that the military members of this country should still get paid even if the government shuts down. That's the country we live in. That's the country that people want us to play nice with the administration of. You don't pay our military members. You don't pay our federal workers. The people at the airport not even barely getting paid. Like, I know a lot of people don't care about national security. I know a lot of people think, like, ain't nothing gonna happen to us. But the way this stuff is going, he's tearing down the national security of this country, brick by brick by a brick, and nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's doing anything. So, let's do something. There's 3 states that have elections coming up. 3. Alabama, South Carolina, and Florida. All right. Alabama, Representatives District 38 has a special primary election for Alabama House District 38. October 21st, 2025. This month, this year. South Carolina, House of Representatives District 21 has a primary special election. October 21st, 2025. South Carolina House of Representatives District 88 has a primary special election, October 21st, 2025. South Carolina State District 12. You have a special primary election for the State Senate District 12, October 21st, 2025. This month, this year. Alabama House of Representatives District 12. You have a special general election for the Alabama House of Representatives District 12, October 28th, 2025. Alabama House of Representatives District 13. You have a special primary runoff for Alabama House District 13, October 28th, 2025. Alabama House of Representatives District 63. Special primary runoff for Alabama House District 63, October 28th, 2025. Tampa City Council District 5. You have a special primary runoff for Alabama House District 5, October 28th, 2025. People, please, get out there and vote these people about your houses. Get up out there and vote these people up out of this Senate. Stop letting these people play with us. Stop letting these people ignore our voices. Stop letting these people play with us. Our voices matter. Our voices matter. And I don't care what nobody says. Our voices matter. Do your part. Welcome to my Auntie Talks. Since it is the month of October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, along with being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I'm going to dedicate this segment to discussing domestic violence, because as of late, I've been noticing a lot of people that I know have been impacted by this, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're alone, right? 1 in 4 men experience domestic violence. 2 in 5 women experience domestic violence. It happens to a lot of people, more than we would probably like to even think. But it happens in very large numbers, and know that it's not always physical. I know a lot of people only try to, when they think about domestic violence, they always just thinking about somebody putting their hands on one another. But it can be so much more than that, okay? 1, domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behaviors characterized by one's partner's need to control the other by using a range of tactics. While the frequency and severity of physical or sexual violence may vary, coercion, intimidation, and emotional manipulation occur on a routine basis throughout the relationship, okay? What domestic violence can include, it can include physical abuse, sexual abuse, forcing a partner to engage in unwanted sexual acts, refusing to practice safe sex, treating a partner like a sex object. Emotional abuse is a part of domestic violence. It's name calling and put downs, denying/shifting blame, treating a partner as an inferior, threatening to harm self or others, or to have a partner deported in some cases. The emotional abuse includes also abusing children or pets, because they typically try to affect something that they know if they can't get you, they're going to get something around you, okay? Children and pets sometimes are not off limits. Emotional abuse can also include stalking, using threatening looks, actions, or gestures, using technology to track, monitor, or frighten. And lastly, economic abuse, stealing or destroying belongings / money, preventing a partner from getting or keeping a job, not letting the partner know about or have access to the family's income, damaging or ruining a partner's credit. Now, that might have struck a nerve with some of you. You need to do some reevaluation if it did. If you're the one doing these things to someone else. If you're the one on the receiving end of these things. Document it all. Take pictures of it all. Record if you can. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Tell the police. Make a police report. Because if something ever is to happen, and I pray it does not, but if something is to ever happen, you having the documentation makes all the difference. And this is a very touchy subject for me. But I have tried to help someone that was going through this emotional abuse, physical abuse, and I tried to call the domestic violence hotline for them, and they had children, and the domestic violence hotline said that basically they couldn't take those kids out of state, because if they did, then the other parent could try to put out a kidnapping thing on them or anything. And I just thought that was the wildest thing ever, because when you call these hotlines, you're expecting to get help. You're expected to be pointed to some resources. And the fact that they kind of just was like, well, you can't do this. It's like, so what do you want me to do? What do you expect them to do? And they asked if they had a police report. And unfortunately, they didn't. So that made it even worse. And that kind of limited the resources they had access to, because according to them, what they were doing was kind of illegal. But how can you tell someone that's trying to get away from a toxic situation like domestic abuse that they're doing something illegal by trying to escape and take their children with them? It's kind of insane. And it kind of made me lose faith in these kind of resources. But I don't want to say that to discourage anyone. Please reach out to them. They do have access to certain resources that everyday people can't access. They do know about shelters and other advocacy programs, or even like support groups. So please speak up. Please speak up. Your voice matters. People care. People love you. I know a lot of the abusers tend to try to isolate these people and make them feel like they're the only ones that care about them, or they're the only ones that wants the best for them, or even make them think that they're the best for them, when we all know they're not. It's the little things. It's paying attention to the little things, okay? How does somebody's body language, how does someone's just, how does it change when certain people come around? They might be going through something. They always looking stressed out. They always looking over their shoulder. Maybe they got something going on. Maybe they need a friend. And if you have friends that you haven't talked to in a while, because they recently got into a relationship, reach out to them. Reach out to them. It's a lot of people battling these type of things in silence because they don't want to be burdens on other people. And I promise you, people that really love you will never see you needing help as a burden. If someone is abusing you in any form of the way, please get away. Please walk away from that situation. There's a lot of people that don't get to walk away from that situation. Educate yourself. Support the programs. Speak up. Educate others. The best education comes from a victim, because people that have not been victimized are not fully aware. Like, they can read some things, they can try to educate themselves enough, but most times it takes people a little longer to understand the full impacts of what domestic violence includes and the effects it can have and the after effects of it all. Emotional abuse is a thing. And sometimes people just laugh it off. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he called me out my name. Listen to me. If somebody is degrading you and calling you out your name on a regular, I don't care if they're under the influence or not, that's a red flag. You deserve better than that. You deserve respect. That's not respect. If someone is or has threatened to hurt your kids or your family members if you didn't stay with them, or they threaten to hurt themselves if you don't stay with them, that's a red flag. That's not cute. That's a red flag. You need to move around. We have to start calling these people out. I don't care if they're your family members or not. Call them out. Because if you're out here treating people like that, you need to get help. Because that's not okay. Listen, it's a lot of victims that get even physically abused. And sometimes they fight back. Sometimes they try to fight back. But then they still stay in the situation. So that makes people think, oh, they're okay with it. No. Some people are just too loyal. They're too loyal. They don't want to let that other person down, even though that person is hurting them. Whether physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, they still feel like they deserve their loyalty. And they don't. You taking your power back, you loving yourself more, that's not you not being loyal to them. That's you protecting yourself. And people tend to look at victims, or they tend to look at people that go through domestic violence as victims and as if they're weak. And that's not always the case. Yes, they're a victim of the circumstances, but They're warriors for staying and enduring all of that. They're warriors for trying to see the good in people that have shown them nothing but evil or disdain. Don't feel shame. Tell somebody. And if you know me and you are going through that, please, I'm here for you. I don't got a job, but I will try to make something move for you. I don't want anyone around me ever to think that they have to go through domestic violence situations and stay stuck. But the thing about me is, you tell me about something, we get actions occurring. Actions occurring. We getting you up out of there. I refuse to lose anybody else at the hands of domestic violence. I refuse. Please, and I'm going to say this, please tell somebody. Please take a picture. Take a picture, send it to somebody else. Take a picture, email it to a different email address. Have the evidence so when you're ready to go, if they try to come for you, you have the evidence to take it to the police, to get a restraining order, to protect yourself so that you can see tomorrow whether you have kids or not, and especially if you have kids. And this does not just apply to women. This applies to men too. Don't be letting women just out here just do anything to you. Yes, you're a man, but you still deserve respect. If a woman is putting her hands on you, get away from her. And this is what I was taught. You don't want nobody to put their hands on you, don't put your hands on nobody else. Not to saying that you're responsible for how someone does you. Not at all. But don't even give people a way in. Don't even get that started. You pushing, you mushing, you hitting. And then eventually they take it to the next level. No. We have to start getting rid of these toxic ways that we've learned as children or as younger adults. And we have to start changing them and addressing them correctly. It's not easy, but we have to inform the next generation on these things so we can end this cycle. Now, to wrap this up, if you are going through domestic violence, if you know someone that's going through domestic violence, if you think you are witnessing someone go through it, talk to your friend. Speak up. If you need assistance, the domestic violence hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE, which is 7233. They also have a text line. You text LOVE IS to 22522. loveisrespect.org is the chat, and you should be able to get access to the domestic violence hotline and hopefully get pointed in the right direction. You're loved. You're beautiful. You're important. People want to hear from you. People care about you. You are deserving of way more than that situation. You're deserving of love, respect, peace. You deserve more. You're worth more. And this situation that you are in does not define you. You define you. How you stand up when you're going through war, that defines you. Get away. Get away. You got it. Welcome to Cyber Talks. Let's get into it. Today, the word of discussion is vulnerability. Now, what is a vulnerability? I've said it a couple times throughout the past segments. I've said it a couple times throughout the past episodes. Today, I'm going to define what a vulnerability is for you. A vulnerability is a flaw or weakness in a system's security procedures, internal controls, or design and implementation, which can be manipulated or taken advantage of to violate the system's security policies. What does that mean for you? Vulnerability is something that can allow someone else to access your computer, someone else to take your money. It's a lot of different ways that a vulnerability can impact people, and don't ever think that you are exempt. A vulnerability can affect any and everybody, okay? Nobody's exempt from a vulnerability. It don't matter if you're rich, poor, old, young. If you have a device that connects to the internet, you have the potential to be affected by vulnerability. So do your part. Do your part. Patch those vulnerabilities. And when I say patch, I mean update your systems. Update your phone. Update your computer. Update your TV if it's connected to the internet. Now, October 14th, Microsoft no longer supports Windows 10. And I know it's a lot of people that are probably still on Windows 10. It took a while for people to get from Windows 7. It's okay. All right, but what does that mean? That means that Microsoft is no longer supporting security patches for this system. They're no longer pushing updates for the system. And they are no longer providing technical assistance for Microsoft Windows 10 devices. So if your operating system on your computer is Microsoft Windows 10, this is what you can do. You can upgrade to Windows 11 so you can continue getting support. You can install Windows 11 on your current system, purchase a new PC with Windows 11, or if you are still on Windows 10 and you are on there because you have a lot of stuff that you need to migrate over to the cloud or something so that you can move your system to Windows 11, they have a program called the Extended Security Updates Program that will provide you protection for up to a year. The year cutoff obviously would be October 14th of 2026. And it gives individuals a chance to move their systems to Windows 11 if they're still on Windows 10 and still have somewhat protection, but you have to sign up for the program. You don't just automatically get it just because you're on Windows 10 still. All right, so that is one of the vulnerabilities that is a thing. If you have an outdated operating system, update it. Outdated operating system means that somebody has hacked into those operating systems to the point where Windows or Microsoft Windows had to create a whole new version so that they could circumvent that. So that's just like with the Internet Explorer browser. It went to Edge because people just love to mess with things, and they made that browser hackable. So they moved us to Microsoft Edge, and whatever applications you use for your web browsers, whether that be Firefox, Google Chrome, they all get updates. Make sure your browsers are updated. That's very important. Now, with the holiday season coming up, I just want to make people aware of some of the things that occurred last holiday season. So last holiday season, there was a feature within the web browsers called polyfill.io, which is a open source JavaScript library that enables modem features to work in older browsers by automatically generating the right code. Now, last year, that was exploited, and it impacted 500,000 online sites. The unmonitored JavaScript is what is allowing attackers to steal people's payment data. And typically, a web application firewall and intrusion detection systems, also known as IDS, typically they would detect that, stop it, block it, but they are not seeing those things. So it's allowing for people's payment data to be stolen. So with that being said, be cautious where you are spending your money online. Double check those URLs. It even says that when this occurred, it looked like the CDN, which is a content delivery network, was returning to the original polyfill code and adding a piece of malicious code that was making users run JavaScript code from www.googie-analytics.com/ga.js. Now, typically when you're on websites that are not the right websites, the way they trick people into going to these websites is they make it look like a word that's similar to the regular name of something. For instance, this says Googie. They made it seem similar to Google, which a lot of people use. If you're not paying attention and you're just swiping, you're going quickly on something, you could end up going to the wrong website. So in that box at the top on your web browser, or maybe it's at the bottom, some people don't have it at the top, it's called a URL box. In that box, double check that it says HTTPS. Before anything else, HTTPS. Then you'll have the / www. Okay? But HTTPS means that you're using the secure web browser protocol. Okay? Also, when you're looking at that URL box, look for the address of the website. If it says Googie, that's not Google. It's not. Double check, fix it, go to the right website. If you go there and you weren't aware, hurry up and close your browser out. It happens. If you have the right security features on your browser, it won't allow you to go to websites that are not the accurate spelling. But some of us do not have that, and I'm aware of that. So just pointing that out. Analytics. They spell it analytics. What is that? Double check the spelling of things. If it's spelled wrong, you might be on the wrong website. That's how they get us. It hasn't happened to me yet, but it's not impossible to happen to me either. So please just be careful. Pay attention, especially with this upcoming holiday season. Watch what websites you're using. Make sure that has HTTPS protocols enabled. Make sure that it's the correct spelling in the URL. And watch where you are sharing your payment data. Now, for you companies, do your jobs. Update your security policies for your web application firewalls. Update your security policies for your servers. There should be no reason that 500,000 websites were affected by this. That means you guys' network security team is not doing their job. Get on your job. Reanalyze your code if you need to, and just maintain a risk register, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a document used in risk management to identify, assess, and prioritize potential risk that could affect the project, okay? That includes details such as nature of each risk, its likelihood of occurrence, potential impact, and strategies for mitigation. And I mentioned earlier the content delivery network. That is a system of distributed servers that work together to deliver web content quickly and efficiently to users based on their geographic location. By caching content closer to users, CDNs, which is a content delivery network, help reduce loading times and improve the overall performance of websites and online services. So, these CDNs help us be able to browse quicker on the web. So, for these people hosting these websites, do your job. If you don't know how to fix your security on your website, find somebody that is. Okay? Because your customers are being impacted, your clients are being impacted, whatever you call the group of people that purchase or work with you, they're being impacted. You need to protect them. Nobody's exempt. Once again, Cisco was targeted last year. It was called the Magcart attacks, and it injected malicious JavaScript into e-commerce sites to steal payment card data. It's happening. It just happened last year. Let's do better. Let's help protect each other. Let's protect ourselves. Yeah, and that's all I have for my cyber talks.